Out on page 3, as usual, I want you to read the question and look at your ratio tables just to kind of get a feel for what they're asking you to do. So take a moment and read the opening for page 3, and then look at the 3 ratio tables so you can get a feel for what everybody's doing. What do they want us to try to figure out? Wow. Who texts the fastest, who texts the slowest, right? If I automatically say, oh, well, let me look at Maria. Maria has 480 words, so she must text the fastest. Is that a correct claim, yes or no?
No.
How come? Sal? Good point. Yeah, she's got the most amount of words, but it also took her the longest. So what we need to do is we have to try to see if we can match up ratios. And I'm gonna make this a little bit simpler in that I'm gonna cover up Michaela for a minute. I'm gonna create a screen shade, and I want to focus in on just my Jenna and my Maria for a minute. We'll worry about Michaela afterwards. All right, if we just look at Jenna and Maria, can you figure out who the faster texter is? And if so, how? Jasmine, what do you say? Okay, we can compare by matching up similar minutes. I want you guys to circle this ratio and this ratio. So under the same amount of minutes, is it fair to say that whoever has more words texts faster? Yeah. Therefore, between those two, who's the faster texter? Chris, it would be Jenna, right? Now I'm going to show you Michaela. And it would be great if we had something for Michaela under 6 minutes, but we don't. But we can create one. Use your knowledge of equivalent ratios and everything that you learned up to this point. Is there a ratio that we can create that will give us 6 minutes? And there's a couple of ways you can do it. We want to try to see if we can get all 3 a ratio for 6 minutes. That would be the ideal. Will?
You find the value of the ratio, which is 1 to 50, and then you multiply the numerator and denominator by 6.
You could do it that way. That's one way of doing it. Find the value, which is right. It's 1 to 50 and multiplied by 6. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But let's say we don't find the value of the ratio just yet. Is there a ratio here that you see that we can do something with? Steven?
It goes up by hundreds, 150 to 450.
Okay. That's a start. Now what do you want to do?
But it's 6. It's already covered 250 to 350.
Okay.
So
6 would be about here, right? Can you figure out what the missing value is for 6? Yeah, Stevie.
300.
He would be right. How'd you do it again?
It goes up by hundreds, and the 250 and 350 are already there.
Right.
So you have to find the half number of
Between 250 and 3. You get a high five for that. That's the first time today that somebody did it that way. I was thinking, and maybe I don't know if you were thinking, that to get from here to here, what are you multiplying by? Time 3 times what makes 6? Whatever you do to one value of the ratio, you do the other, and you could do it. That's the old rainbow way we did the first week. But doesn't matter. We have now created 3 ratios under 6 minutes. So now looking at all 3 values, who texts the fastest? Michaela does. Scroll to the bottom and put the names in. Who's the slowest? Take a look again. Who's the slowest?
Maria.
Maria. She can only do 240 words in that same amount of time. Okay? This is just one strategy. It's trying to find an alternate or an equivalent ratio in this case. There's another way that we can do this. And Will was kind of getting to this. Well, yeah, let's brainstorm. What was your way?
My way was, so I looked at Michaela and Maria,
Yes.
and Michaela had more in 9 minutes than Maria.
Okay.
Then I looked at Maria again, and Maria got 360 in 9 minutes, and Jenna got 360 in 8 minutes. So that means Jenna was faster than Maria, and I know Michaela was faster.
That's a neat way of doing it too.
And then I figured out that Michaela
That's
was
cool.
faster than Jenna because I looked at in 5 minutes Michaela got 250, and in 6 minutes Jenna got 270, and I knew that it was like plus 50 for every number. I figured out, like,
You did it a lot of different ways. I like with the first thing that you said. This is what and tell me if I got this right. You took a look at Maria. I'm going to do it in a different color, but you could use boxes if you want. You took a look at her and 9 and 8.
Yeah.
All right, so out of these two, the faster texter is obviously the person that can do 360 words in less time. So far that would be Jenna. Now, he's going to compare, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to find, what did you do next? You found 9 minutes here and compare this to this. And out of these two, she's faster than Maria. So that would make this first over these two. Then what'd you do? How were you able to figure out then from there who the slowest was?
Now, Michaela had 357.
Well, let me get there. Yep.
And then soon, I think we got like the 250, 350 with the, like, how it's like.
The tweeners. We call those tweener ratios. Yup.
And I figured out that 300's bigger than 600, so then I figured out.
Okay. That's good too. There are so many different ways. There's one more other way I want you to be aware of. And this is my suggestion to you with any of these. Before you even try to do it the way you want to do it, I want everybody to do this right now. I want you to find the value of the ratio table. You remember how to do it? Can we do it together? Let's take Michaela. 3 to 150. What number goes into both? Ella. 3 goes into 3. How many times, Al?
1.
I'm going to put my value of my ratio table before the table begins. 3 goes into 150. All right, so again, this is my value of my ratio, 1 to 50, or 50 words per minute. Let's do Jenna. Chris, what number goes into both 2 and 90? Besides 1, because we always want to avoid 1, because 1 will go into everything. Remember your divisibility rooms? Yes, 2. 2 goes into 2 how many times, bud? And then 2 goes into 90 if you have to do it. If you can't do it in your head, do it with long division. Excellent, 45. Janet can do 45 words per minute. Julian, what goes into 3 and 120, bud? What goes into 3 and 120?
Ready?
Yes. 3 divided by 3 is? Can you do 120 divided by 3 in your head? I bet you can do 12 divided by 3 in your head. Correct, 40. Look, we have a common number of minutes. Who texts the fastest? Should still be the same answer as we got before. It's not going to change. Michaela, she could type 50 words per minute. Text 50 words per minute. Who's the slowest? Yeah, she's real slow at 40. Okay? There's the point of lesson 11, there's lots of different ways to do it, but my suggestion is to always get to the value of the ratio first, because sometimes that's a dead giveaway. Okay, we have like 4 minutes left. We kind of skipped a few pages. We really did all 3 strategies, well, in this case, 2 strategies, 2.5 strategies on 1 page. The next page I want you to go to is, it's just a coincidence that you're in this, Franco. I kid you not, this is from Engage NY, and I would never ever expect to have a Franco in my class, and then here you are.
Franco's juice.
Franco's juice. Anyway, read the juice question and see if you can figure it out on your own. There's no time to group up right now. And same advice, I'd like you to find value of the ratio first and then proceed and see if you can figure it out. Let's do value of the ratio for Franco's juice mix. What was the value of his ratio? Get Andrew. 3 to 1. No, what was Renee? 5 to 1 is good. Stephanie. 4 to 1. All right, ready? Here's where this has been a stumbling block today. How many of you said that Franco's juice would taste the strongest?
I did.
Hands down. How many said Renee's? How many said Stephanie's?
Whoa.
All right, think of it this way.
Oh, wait,
Think of your juice concentrate like tablespoons of juice mix.
no, I did that.
All right, we'll continue this thought tomorrow. Franco is the correct answer for strongest. To be discussed. We'll pick up right where we left off because that's been a stumbling block today.